Welcome back to Diving Into Watches. This week we're taking a look at Chrono Watch, a chronograph watch that I've had my own for a very long time, and it fits that niche where I really wanted it to fit into because there's just such a wide plethora of watches that in the chronograph, from the lower ends under sub 1000, the Seiko Citizens, all the way up to the Rolex Daytona and the Zenith El Primero. But this one particular watch, I think for me, hits that sweet spot and seems to be highly overlooked and is a solid mechanical chronograph that is in that realm of luxury, but also a tool watch. And it has the history and the lineage of an outstanding watch. And I've been thrilled to have this watch, and I'll go more into how I obtained this watch. But that watch is the Tudor Black Bay 58 steel and gold chronograph. So let's roll the credit, and let's roll the intro, and let's take a closer look at it and see what you all think. Okay, hard to believe that it has literally been 2 months since I started this video. For you in YouTube land, it was literally less than 30 seconds from the intro to here, but it has taken me literally 2 months to get this video finished. I have, just life. I have no real reasons, just so many things popped up, happened. Part of me didn't want to get to it, part of me wanted to do it, just kept pushing it off, family, whatever. But we're here. We are talking about the Tudor Black Bay Chrono S&G, or they call it steel and gold. Probably my favorite chronograph of all time, and we'll go over the details why I love this watch so much, why I think is an awesome watch. I'm not going to recommend it to you or not. I think that if you're big into chronos, this is one you want to check out. But if price points are issues for you, then this is not one you want to check out, because it is not on the low end of the price points. There are fantastic watches on the lower end of the price points. There's the Seiko Speed, I think it's called the Speed Timer. Citizen, which I've done a review on, makes a great chrono. The Calibrate 2100. Gosh, there's just so many less expensive chronos out there. It's just, if you're into the higher end chronos, like the Zenith El Primero, which I really love, but I prefer this one over it in that price range, then this is one you want to look at. I love the Daytona, but that is just so far out of my price range that is not even an option for me. So we're going to go over the things I love about this watch. I'm going to tell you right now, there's nothing I don't like about this watch, other than, obviously going to be cost. Nobody likes spending lots of money on a watch.
$1 million.
But I'm going to go over the background of the watch, what I like about the watch, a little bit of history of the watch, how I came to have this watch. So without further ado, let's jump into it. A couple years ago, actually this watch came out. I want to say the watch came out, Black Bay Chrono, I believe it was 2017 or 2019, and they're more famous for the teal colored one that I'm pointing at, and they had a panda one that was very popular, and then they came out with the pink dial one. A lot of people called it the Pepto-Bismol. I was not a big fan of any of those. I already have a chrono that I really like that is kind of a panda style by Citizen. I just like chronos, but I did not want another another panda style one. I was watching a guy I follow by the name it goes by Ocean O'Malley. He has a watch review channel. He started out doing watch reviews and some other things. He kind of ventures into politics and some other things. So I don't know if you classify him as a 100% watch channel. He lives in Venice, Italy. I think he's English, but he lives in Venice. And he was doing a review of this particular watch, which for me, I don't see a lot of it on the Instagram. I don't see a lot of reviews of it. I see a lot of reviews of the pink dial one, the panda dial one, and the teal dial one. But this one, when I saw it on his wrist, and I was like, man, that thing is pure class. That was just gorgeous. The dark chocolate dial, the solid gold pieces on it. It was just like, wow. I was just like blown away. But I have a rule, especially on very expensive watches, that I will not buy a watch that I see either on Instagram or through a video. I have to actually put hands on with it before I buy it, because nothing can be worse than you think you're going to like it. You spend all this money for a watch and you don't like it. It even happens on, $2, $3, $4. There's hardly any $200, $300, $400 watches anymore, but $400, $500, $600, $700, $800 watches. You think they're gonna be great, you get them home, or you order them, they deliver, and you put it on your wrist, and you're like, this thing sucks, I don't like it.
Fucking thing sucks!
I have a few of those, and I end up selling them off. So I needed to get hands on this one. We have an AD that we go to for watches and stuff, but we were actually taking my wife. I bought her it was our 20th anniversary. I bought her a ring for her 20th anniversary, and a stone had fallen out. So I was taking it in with her to get the stone put back in. Well, while we're in there, they're an authorized dealer for Rolex, Tudor, Breitling, Penn, you name it, all the big names. Well, they happen to have this watch sitting in a display case.
The Holy Grail.
And I instantly was like, see you, honey, I'm gonna go check this watch out. And I was just like, wow. So taking care of the things for my wife, they showed it to me. I was just like, awesome. They're like, we'll make you a really good deal on it. I was like, yeah, I'm just not in a position. It was back in June of this year. My son had just graduated. We were getting ready to head to the Bahamas for a week. And then telling my wife, hey, I want to drop, close to 10 grand on a watch. Wasn't going to happen. So we leave, we go to the Bahamas with the family. Unbeknownst to me, my wife and my son went down, and for Father's Day, they bought me this watch. So it is very, very special to me, obviously from an emotional standpoint, and it'll always be with me forever. And it gets probably 80% of the watch wear time. So I just, and after howling and seeing it, and then the history about it, it's just a beautiful, beautiful watch. What I love about this watch is the style, the feel, the class. We'll go over more on the bench. The movement, interestingly enough, is a Tudor movement per se, but there's a relationship with Breitling that Breitling buys, and I think it's Kinesi. I think that's how you pronounce it, Kinesi. Tudor has their own in-house movements, and they sell a lot of those movements to Breitling. Well, the particular movement in this one is from the Breitling. I think it's called the B1 or B17 or B1. It's a Breitling manual and automatic movement that Tudor puts into their chronographs, but then Tudor does their hyper build on them to push them. I'm gonna double check, but I think it's 70 hours power reserve on this watch. So they put their stamp on it. They put all their parts on it. So they highly modify this Breitling movement in this watch, and it's manual wind and automatic, and it's just a absolute gorgeous, gorgeous watch. If you are in the market for a chrono, this is one you definitely want to check out. But without further ado, let's jump over to the bench and let's take a closer look in a more in-depth review of the Black Bay Chrono S&G or Steel and Gold. Okay, here we are over on the bench taking a quick look at the Tudor Black Bay Chrono S&G or Steel and Gold. Before we get into all the cool things and all the different metals, etc., let's go ahead and talk about the dimensions. It's a 41 millimeter case. The movement is an MT5813, which is COSC certified. If you know what COSC means, it just means that they tested in all these different variations for 15 days straight, and it has to be with -4 to +6 seconds a day, and all these different variations, climates, conditions, etc. It is 200 meters water resistance, so yes, you can dive with this. You can go in the water with this one. Will I be? Absolutely not. This one, no, I won't. Lug width is 22 millimeters. It is a case thickness of 14.4 millimeters, and it is a domed sapphire crystal, and that is all the cool dimensions. And then you've got your standard, my mind is blanking on the bracelet style. So what makes this the steel and gold is the case is a polished steel case, polished on the sides. It's brushed on top, and then the center link at the 12 and the 6 o'clock are solid gold, and then these center links are wrapped in 0.2 millimeters of gold all the way around. And then you got your Tudor clasp. You can see I wear this a lot. This is gold. And then you've got the Tudor crown here with the Tudor rose on it. That is wrapped in gold. I think it's 0.2 millimeters. The push buttons are wrapped in gold. And then these, I can't think what these are called, but where the pushers are, these right here are solid gold. It is a solid gold bezel with an aluminum bezel gold inlay on it. And then you have the black dial with the minute track inside. You have the loomed indices from 1 through 12. And then you have the seconds hours, and then dates, and then it says, let's see if I can get in here close enough. No, it says 200 meters, 660 feet, chronometer officially certified. The way it works is like most chronos is you have to unscrew the pushers all the way out. And you should go all the way out, and then you push it, and then it takes off and goes. And it is a absolutely beautiful, flawless one. I absolutely love this one. Push it to stop, then to reset, and obviously you want to make sure you screw these all the way back down, because otherwise you're going to expose, you can see it exposes the inside of the watch, and then you're obviously going to lose your water resistance. The knurling on the crown is excellent. It's your two position, one to pull off for the date, other one to pull all the way out to adjust the time. It has a very solid, very firm wind. So it is manual wind, or it is also an automatic movement one with, like I said earlier, 70 hours of power reserve. You screw in nice and tight. The 70-hour power reserve is what I believe they take this Breitling Move It to a little bit further. It does not have any quick adjustments down here on the clasp. It just has your standard three position adjustment here that you'd have to do, but there is no quick release on it like you would see on some dive watches, because obviously they're not treating it as a dive watch, but it is very, very capable of going in the water. You've got Tudor, Genève, Steel-Inox, RP. I don't know what that stands for at all. Then you've got the information on the back. It's just going to give you the caliber information, the manufacturer, Tudor, Genève, caliber manufacturing, Tudor, Genève, and it just keeps repeating. It's your Rolex style case back, obviously, because it's the sister watch company to obviously owned by Rolex. I'm sure this is a black dial, but it looks in person, it looks chocolate. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Everything about this thing is just, to me, is just flawless. When I was looking at chronos, I was looking at this and the Zenith El Primero. The El Primero is beautiful, but this one, I mean, you can dress this watch up obviously very easily, and it's also works very, very casually. You can use this in a multitude of roles. It just checks all those boxes. Obviously, the price point on it is very high, but that's neither here nor there. When you get a certain level of watches, they're just going to be expensive. The lume is good. It's not super crazy. It's super luminova. I will give you a lume shot here in a second. You got the date wheel at the bottom. It's Boston white, so the letter stands out. I'm not too worried about the lume on this one, because obviously it's not a tool watch like my Omega Seamaster. This one is meant for all different things, not kind of nighttime or dive operations kind of thing. So I'm not too worried about that one. But it wears very, very comfortably. I can't say enough about this watch, other than the price point. It's just going to be high regardless, and some people are not going to want to pay that or going to be comfortable with that, and I totally respect that and totally understand that. It's your standard fold over lock-in clasp. Nothing fancy here, nothing crazy, nothing revolutionary here. These are simulated. They're not real rivets. I have this adjusted all the way down because I have a 6 1/4 inch wrist, so this is the last link I have in it. And then there's a link inside here that I think I could adjust it down one more if I needed to. If I needed to go any smaller, I'd have to move this over, because this is the last link. So I've got all the links out but one, because I have such a small wrist. But absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous watch. Let me get this lit up. Let's flip off the lights, and then let's see what the lume looks like. Stand by. Okay, there's our lume shot. You can see the lume is very good. It does bright. It's very, very bright. The hands are loomed. The indices are loomed. Obviously the seconds timer is not loomed, and the seconds and hours are not loomed. The lume is good, but it's not over the top like wow, super cool like it would be like on the Omega, how that just blows up brilliantly. But again, that's not the purpose of this watch. It's more a different type of tool watch than the Omega would be. So lume is good, so you're not going to go wrong there. But if you're looking for lume, like it has to be blinked, then this type of style watch is not a lume magnet style watch. Again, just looking at it, absolutely gorgeous. I would encourage you to go over and check out Osen O'Malley's review on this one. If you're in the market for a chrono, definitely check it out. Let me go ahead and pop off the Omega, pop this on so you can get some wrist shots so you can see what it looks like on the wrist. Obviously don't need to give you a wrist check right now because you already know I'm wearing my Omega Seamaster 300M Professional. Absolutely love this watch. Okay, there it is on my 6¼ inch wrist. It fits absolutely perfect. It's comfortable. It stands out. I get lots of compliments on it. It's not ostentatious. It's not, you know, crazy like a Daytona or an El Primero would be. But it is pure class. It is very, very classy. Dress it up, dress it down. This could definitely be, if you're a one watch person, you're only looking to spend a chunk of money on one watch and one watch at all. This could be one you could do because you could literally wear this from the boardroom to the pool. It will do everything you want with that 200 meters water resistance. It is an all-around watch, and it's got that kind of that bling in its style, but it's not over the top and crazy. So let's go ahead and pop this off, and then we'll go back over to the studio and give you my final thoughts on the Black Bay Chrono S&G or Steel and Gold. Okay, well there you go, folks. There is a up-close look at the Tudor Black Bay Chrono S&G Steel and Gold. If you are in the market for chrono and you've got a large enough budget, this is something that you'd be interested in, I would definitely encourage it. Even if you don't want to pay retail, I know you can pick these up on used on, you can like check Exquisite Timepieces, Chrono 24, Joma Shop has them. The only thing you can do with Joma Shop is they have their own warranty, even though you can buy this watch brand new. I've seen these on the used market in the mid sixes, so you can definitely save a nice chunk of change. Our AD gave us a 20% discount, so we got a nice chunk of savings on it. So it was definitely worthwhile when my wife went out and picked it up for me. But if you're in the market for definitely a higher end, classy, stylish Tudor luxury chrono, I would encourage you to check this one out. The El Primero is absolutely gorgeous. Norcane makes a beautiful one. I don't think it's high on the price point as this one. I'm sure there's some really gorgeous chronos that I'm missing in that 5,000 to 10,000 range, and none. I can't think it off the top of my head, but I know that the Breitling Navi Timer. I think they're over 10 though on if you buy them new. I would love to own a Navi Timer, but I would buy one used. I know you can pick those up pretty good on the used market. I typically buy all my watches either used or if I can find one that's brand new, still in the box, it's never been worn, but it's just kind of like a dealer closeout like I got with this Omega, my Omega, and you can get a discount on it, then I would go that route. I always like new, but you know, when you get to a certain level price point of watches, the wear and tear on them is not there if they've even been worn at all. And you know, watches are not an investment. You're going to lose 99% of them. You're going to lose money on. You're not going to make money on them, no matter how much you pay for one. So you know, if you spend $10,000 on a watch and you're going to sell it 2 or 3 years later, plan on losing 30, 40, 50, you know, 60% depending on the watch. But these watches I will not get rid of. Tell me what you think of the Tudor Black Bay Chrono. What is a chrono that you think in that price point of the Black Bay Chrono that you like, that I should take a look at, that you think competes with it besides the El Primero? Tell me what you think would be a good alternative to this one in that price point. Price point wise, there's other really, you know, obviously lower cost ones that are fantastic, like I mentioned, the Seikos, the Citizens. I can't think off the top of my head. Norcane. I think that's how you pronounce it, Norcane. There's one, I can't think of the name off of it. There's so many great chronos out there, but I wanted a manual wind, automatic, old school chrono. I did not want a battery run one. I did not want a. Man, my mind is blanking on the movement. Quartz. I did not want a quartz movement chrono. I have an Eco Drive quartz chrono in my Citizen Calibrate 2100 that I absolutely love, and I wanted the old school automatic, you know, manual wind or automatic movement. And I think this watch, being a gift from my family, is just absolutely gorgeous. It'll be cherished, to be passed on. But tell me, what is your favorite out there? What is your favorite chrono? Give me a list down in the comments what you guys would say is one of your favorite chronos out there. And it can be from a lower, it could be, you know, from a lower price point. It could be a higher price point to the Daytona or the Audemars Piguet. This still, as far as emotional value and love for the watch. My Citizen Calibre 2100 still ranks up there. It gets lots of time. You know, it holds that same spot in my heart as this one done, because that one was also for my wife. So hey, thanks again for watching. Sorry it took me so long to get a video out to you guys. I appreciate all the comments. I still appreciate the channel's growing, even though we've gotten one out. That just tells me you guys are still interested in what we're doing. Stay safe. Have a great weekend. Be kind to others, as you don't know the battles they're fighting. And as always, I'm diving into watches, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.